It is very satisfying when you have spent a lot of time on a content piece. But hey, I never wish to be able to write slower. Being able to write two articles in the same time as I do one is a huge win. I can push out more content on social media or on my website. It can drive more leads, it can get more attention, it can make me more money. So if you are also a content writer or a content creator that wants to create content faster, here's how to do it. Tip number one, build a writing process. Lay down the specific steps in writing an article, how you go from ideation to completion, and the tools that you can use to automate the repetitive aspects in the process. So it could mean that you start with ideation, then go to outline, then research, then write, edit, and optimize, publish. Once you have the specific steps laid down in front of you, you can fine tune them with addition or removal of tools and actually address each of those specifically, which we'll talk about a little later. The next thing is a content style guide. Whether you're writing for a client or yourself, your content represents your brand, and you need to have a style guide that documents how you want your articles to look like, the kind of words that you tend to use, the personality of your brand, the kind of style that you want in your articles, and the kind of writing that's expected. This will ensure that you maintain consistency across articles, and you will also already know what's expected in every piece. The next step, create swipe files and use templates for writing your headlines, introductions, the overall structure of your article, and your conclusions. To many beginners, it might seem like restraining the creative process, but if you have specific templates you can rely on, they can help you to structure your ideas and your creative thinking. They're really empowering, and I recommend you to have a Google Drive folder where you can have specific files for each different aspect of your article. I remember relying on a lot of headline writing formulas by Smart Blogger, also different introduction formulas by Backlinko and Smart Blogger. I'll share the links to these blog posts in the comments box below. I have now internalized these formulas, and that's what your goal should be. In the beginning, it can really help if you follow a structured process and you don't have to think a lot about how to approach a specific section. Now you have identified specific steps in your writing process and you have templates for addressing each of them. It's time to integrate some tools. I recommend you to not go overboard with this one. I just use Surfer SEO when I write SEO content because it helps in optimizing it for search engines, and then use Grammarly for some proofreading. Of course, you can't substitute it with manual proofreading, but these two tools are great for quality check of your content. They provide a score to the content from an SEO and grammatical perspective, which could be really useful. Step number 2, identify the bottlenecks in your current writing system. Now, the first thing that I want you to do is note down the number of hours it takes you to write an article. Do it for 5 to 10 articles. While doing this, also break down the specific time it's taking you to do research versus writing versus ideation versus editing versus optimization, all the steps in the process. You should ideally have an Excel sheet for this. In one column, write down the name of the article. In the next column, write down the total amount of time it took you to write that article, and then break down the 5 to 6 steps in your writing process and the time it took in every step. From here, you will get a clearer perspective on what is the bottleneck of your writing system. For instance, maybe you identified that you're bad at ideation. Then work on your ideation skills. Leverage competitor research tools for finding out the subjects that your competitors are writing about. If you're working with clients, then ask them for the list of topics or subjects that they want you to write on in the next month or so that you can plan ahead. If you're the kind of person who gets their ideas in the shower, then get a shower notepad. Keep your mobile phone handy with yourself, and whenever you get an idea, just note it down. If you're working on ideation, you need all of the ideas in your archive so that when you go to the drawing board and start developing an idea, you already have lots of them. Tip number 3, set deadlines and let go of perfectionism. As you might have heard, work expands to fill the time that's available for its completion. From the last step, you already know the average amount of time it takes you to write a content piece. Now, you have to give yourself deadlines according to it, and don't treat deadlines as suggestions. Abide by them, and if you have to pull all-nighters just to meet your deadlines, then so be it. From the next time, you will plan better. Don't do this too frequently though. If you are missing your deadlines front and center, you're probably being too ambitious. Overall, the idea is to let go of your perfectionist tendencies. Almost all creative entrepreneurs, almost all creative personalities have it. As a content writer, you have to publish consistently. Now, for a quality check, maybe you can use tools like Surfer SEO and Grammarly. They will grade your writing. They will tell you the grammatical errors in your writing and help you fix it. They will help you optimize your writing for search engines. Obviously, it's not a perfect system, but if you are wanting to write and publish content frequently, you ensure some simple system to ensure your quality is on point. Probably your perfectionism is crippling you. If that's something you feel, address your creative beliefs. Do you associate a lot of worth with everything that you put out? If you take 4 hours to write a content piece and make the same amount of money as if you were to spend 5 hours, why put the extra effort? Be a little lazy. Remember, creativity is subjective, and somebody else might always find some typos or new errors in your writing. So there's no point trying to over-optimize and pursue perfectionism. It's an infinite goal. A philosophy that can really help you in this regard is document, don't create. This is a philosophy that Gary Vee recommends, who publishes a lot of content frequently, and he talks about the difference between the Kardashians versus Friends. You don't want to put a lot of pressure on yourself thinking you are creating the next Star Wars or the next episode of Friends. Just documenting your journey, so just take some pressure out of the creation. The fourth tip, sprint and relax. What do I mean? If you're struggling with putting pen to paper or your fingers on the keyboard, then just start with a 25-minute Pomodoro session. It calls for 25 minutes of deep work focused session followed by 5 minutes of rest. And then you go again. After 4 to 5 sessions, you can take a 10-minute longer break. When I struggle with focusing, then I use a tomato timer. I have shared the link in the description box below. Alternatively, you may choose to work in longer deep work sessions. I am a part of a community called as Cave Day, and I occasionally become a part of their 1 long hour sprints. In this community, creative professionals from around the world are writing, they are creating content strategies, they are creating music or practicing for their auditions and whatnot. They conduct 1 hour sessions which you can book in advance. You jump in, you share your intention for the next hour, and you then begin working on that specific task. You monotask for that specific period of time, and at the end of the session, return with quick wins, and then you can join another session. I found Cave Day specifically helpful when I wanted longer deep work sessions. I recommend you to try Cave Sessions by Cave Day. Here's my affiliate link that you can use to sign up. You should also try to write on a consistent schedule at the same time every day. Creative discipline is going to help you come up with ideas quicker. Getting up at the same time and going for deep work sessions will help you in your creative productivity. Indeed, Cave Day has a feature allowing you to schedule deep work cave sessions at the same time every day. Occasionally though, break the patterns in your working style and go out to a cafe. Just change the desk from where you're working and mix it up. It can give you new perspectives and help your productivity. The fifth tip, experiment with AI tools. I know many writers out there think that it's them versus AI. Artificial intelligence is coming to take their jobs. But tell you what, creative ideas, creative problem solving is something unique to humans. I don't think as of now AI tools are doing anything of that kind. What they are doing though is generating a lot of relevant ideas. So if you're stuck with a creative block, AI tools can come up with a lot of ideas by just inputting a keyword. Try a tool like Jarvis. As soon as you give it a subject, it can return first drafts for you. Interestingly, in industries which are not too complicated like beauty, skincare, Ayurveda and things like that, where simple research is required, AI can do a better job at first drafts than beginner writers. Once you have first drafts from AI, the only thing that you need to do is take care of fact checking, which AI tools really fumble with right now, and put together a good, nice narrative. There are tools that can find the top tweets in your industry and even write tweets for you or even posts on other social media platforms. My point is, don't close the door when it comes to artificial intelligence tools. They could be really helpful in your workflow. You're better off integrating them in your workflow and improving your output rather than letting them outdo you, if at all that happens. Next step, do you hit the keyboard all right? What I'm talking about is your typing speed and accuracy. Take a typing test right now and find out what's your average writing speed. If you're somebody who's too particular about every step in the process of creative work, then your typing speed could be a bottleneck. Well, think about it. The average typing speed is about 40 words per minute, and a professional typist can do 65 to 70 words. So even if you get your speed to 60 words per minute, then you could be writing about 1200 extra words in an hour. That could be a complete content piece in itself. You can also experiment with voice typing. While I have not found it personally to be very productive because of my pronunciation, but maybe it can work out better for you, especially on subjects that you are well versed with. The average speaking rate is about 120 words or more per minute. So if you're voice typing, you could have written 2 to 3 times more words than if you were to type by hand. My next step, write on subjects you know and like. When you are an expert on a subject and you know a lot about it, you will be able to write a lot more and a lot quicker than if you were to start from scratch. So if you are a freelance writer, this could mean that you work in a specific niche, specialize in it and know it A to Z. And then just keep reworking and writing on the same subjects. For example, when I now talk about content marketing, strategy, SEO, most of the things are very well known to me and I can write a lot quicker than say about a couple of years ago or even 3 years ago. This is a constant battle and a journey though. Writing on the same topics can also become a little boring and there can only be a limited opportunity in a specific niche. If you're an individual content creator or a writer, then your audience might run out of reading about the same subjects from you. You will need to change niches and the topics you write about just to keep it interesting for yourself and for your audience. Generally speaking though, it helps to choose a niche and the topics you write about and then just do more of that so that you can write faster. And my last tip, you probably need to work on something down the line. What do I mean? Well, you want to improve your writing speed, but there are a lot of external factors involved in the equation. What if your client keeps on changing between subjects? They want you to write about sales and marketing enablement one day and some software the next day. You can't ask them for similar subjects. Maybe your writing system is so optimized that you're already doing the best you can. So why suck the joy out of the creation process by trying to over-optimize the system? Maybe writing quicker is not the sub-skill that you need to work on right now. You probably want to earn more and that's why you want to write more. So hey, just raise your rates. Raising your rates is the best way to make money and do justice to every piece you work on. Another way to make more money from your writing? Take more clients but subcontract your work. Just get ghostwriters on board that can do the writing for you. If you are a business owner or a content marketing manager that wants to publish more content, well, simply hire more writers, expand your team. Maybe repurpose your existing content from YouTube videos or podcasts into more content pieces for your blog. I know for many of these things you may require a higher budget from your CMO or CEO, but hey, just push for it. Tell them that there's a limit to create high quality content. And if you don't want me to compromise on quality, this is how much I can create. You can also consider hiring an editor for helping you with polishing your final piece. That will save you a lot of time. I personally never enjoyed editing a piece and I always send it to other editors for pruning. I'm happy to pay editors or have fellow content marketers help me with editing. Probably you want to achieve some business goals through your content efforts. You're unable to achieve it because you think you lack content frequency. But what if I tell you you need to work on better content subjects? This is kind of a thinking exercise, but how about you maintain the same frequency? You write the exact same amount of articles, but you just choose better subjects, prioritize better. While most of us have penchant for wanting to do more, to write more, the thing is, there's only so much of time in the day. Ultimately, you need to prioritize. So find out the top 20% kind of content subjects that deliver 80% of business results and try and do more of them. If landing pages work better than blog posts for you, then create more landing pages. But don't try to do both of them or increase your frequency. That's going to affect the quality. All of this said and done, if you think that you can improve your content creation speed, hire a content operations expert. Let them have a look at your current creation workflow and then make changes on the basis of their recommendations. And that's all you need for writing content faster. Is there any other tactic that you use for writing quickly? Let me know in the comments box below.